Hi everybody, let's have a look at all of my graded comic books. Hi everybody, Peter here from TripleG Comics. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, please do consider hitting that like and subscribe button and watching all of my geeky content. So today we're going to be taking a look at all of my graded comics. Well, not all of my graded comics, I'm telling you, it's a fib. I've got about 8 graded comic books in my to video pile, so I'll not be showing those ones off today. So keep an eye on the channel for those ones in the future. There's some sexy Stan Lee signed stuff and some UK vintage graded books, so watch out for those. But in this video, what we're going to do is basically roughly go through all of my graded comic books, whether that is CGC graded or CBCS graded. They're the main companies I tend to use. I don't have a particular preference for either. I use CBCS or have used CBCS in the past because of their signature verification process. That will change in the future now that CGC are doing that. So you're going to get a selection here. You're going to get some old comic books, some keys, some mega keys, some signed books and some artwork. So enough prattle, let's just crack on and get through them. Now, I've got a lot, so this might be a big video. So please do take a break, have a cup of tea, but do come back and watch the full vid because there's a mixture of stuff here, something to whet everybody's appetite, I think. Okay, let's crack on. Okie dokie, so first book off the belt. Ooh, it's sexy! And it's signed. This is Ghost Rider #1. It's a lower grade, it's a 7.5, but this is the first appearance of Danny Ketch, who obviously becomes the Ghost Rider, as you know, and it is signed by Mark Texeira. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't do names, I can't pronounce names, so please, you're going to have to bear with us as I go through these, because some of the signed books I'm going to struggle with. But this is a very sexy Ghost Rider book. Like I said, issue #1, first appearance of Danny. I remember reading this one in the old UK format, Havoc magazine, I believe. I think it's got an absolutely stunning, striking cover. So a bit of a favourite, this one. Lower grade, 7.5, but I'll take it because it's a signed book. Next, we have got probably one of the favourite books in my entire collection. This is a UK comic, so my American viewers, you might not have seen this before. This is the first appearance of the Transformers, the Autobots and Decepticons. This is a book that I read as a kid. I was desperate to get it. Like all UK comics, it comes with free gifts. I've got those, your transfers and all that kind of jazz. You'll notice it's a 4.5, which isn't a spectacular grade, but for this particular book, this old newspaper print kind of book, it's a bit of a stunner. You'll also notice that it's a yellow label, and that's because it is signed by the man himself, Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen. I'm over the moon to have this in my collection. Only downside to this one, ladies and gents, is when I received it, it has got a crack on the bottom, as you can see, and a bit of a hole in the slab. So I'm waiting to send that one off to be cased. But I love it. Amazing artwork. Stunning book. Okay, ladies and gents, next book is a bit of a key. It is Werewolf by Night 32, which is the first appearance of Mark Spector, the Moon Knight. So again, really nice first appearance. You'll notice it's a low grade, it's a 3.5. Nearly all of my keys are low grades because I can't afford the buggers in the big grades. This is also a pence copy. Now, nothing wrong with a pence copy. These are basically the UK prints of your American cent style books. But yeah, that is Werewolf by Night 32, first appearance of Moon Knight. A very cool book to have. Let's stick with first appearances and let's go for a very, very sexy book. And this is obviously Fantastic Four 52. This is obviously, everybody knows this one, first appearance of T'Challa, the Black Panther. Bit of a key, Again, lower grade, CGC 3.5, but I'm happy to have that one in my collection. Just had to have this character represented. Let's go a little bit more modern now, ladies and gents, and go for one that you probably recognise straight off. Ooh, with a sexy custom label. This is Secret Wars. Look at that stunner. This is obviously the first appearance of the alien black costume from Secret Wars with that beautiful custom label that CGC offered a little while ago. This is a 9.4, which is a respectable grade for this book, I think. I just like the artwork on this cover. I've seen a lot of these with remarks. I might get myself one of them in the future. So that's a nice one. A nice, again, little key book for you. I'm a bit of a horror fan, and this is a beaut to have. This is the amazing, amazing Tomb of Dracula number 10. Again, this is a pence copy, but this is the first appearance of Blade. And this is Tomb of Dracula number 10 at a CGC 4.0. Again, 4.0 is not a grade to be sniffed at this book, I don't think, for our first appearance. Are we going to get a Blade movie? I don't know. They seem to be really prattling around with it, don't they? Sticking with first appearances, let's go big boys. Let's go sexy, sexy Punisher. We have got a amazing Spider-Man 129 7.5 CGC graded. First appearance of the Jackal. It's a standard joke. First appearance of the Punisher. A classic cover, or one I absolutely love, and I knew I had to have in my collection. So yeah, big boy book, that one. Bit of a pricey book, that one. Bit of a pricey book. Let's go mad, and let's go from a different side this time. So I've showed you some of my keys. Let's go this side. This is a signed book. This is a CBCS signed book. It's an Uncanny X-Men 283. First full appearance of Bishop, signed by Wills Porcello. It's a mushroom, isn't it? So yeah, so that's first appearance of Bishop, minor key X-Men book, I guess you would say. And it's not the highest of grades, this one, for a relatively modern book, so a little bit disappointed with the grading on that one. But still, a nice minor first app to have in the collection. Speaking of minor first apps, let's go for 9.8. This is, again, a very, very nice X-Force book. First appearance of Domino. And this one is at a CGC 9.8. Once again, it is signed. Books to the back of us, so I can't really see. Can't remember who signed this one. Did it get signed by Rob? Yeah, it did. Signed by Rob Liefeld. So yeah, minor first appearance of Domino. A nice book to have in the old collection. Okay, this is sexy. This is a very modern book. This is a shiny, shiny Batman book with a stunning image of the Joker. This is Batman 142, variant cover, foil cover of the Joker. This is a bit of a beaut. Now, thing with this book is I'm giving it away. So, if you want this book, what you need to do is head over to my pals over on the Killer Comic Show over on YouTube, subscribe to them, make sure you're subbed up to them, and once we hit 1,000 subscribers on that channel, we're going to give away this book to one lucky viewer. So if you fancy winning this free of charge, easy. All you got to do, sub the Killer Comic Show and watch out for the giveaway. We have got another lovely signed book. This is Young Avengers 12. This is a CBCS book again. This is signed by Jim Chung. Don't know who he is. He's the artist on the book. And this is the first appearance of Speed and Kate Bishop as Hawkeye. So again, rather nice book. I do like the Young Avengers. I'm specking on the Young Avengers, ladies and gents. I think these books could go up because this is the future of the Marvel Universe, I think this is where we're headed with the MCU. So yeah, cool book to have, particularly for spec. A spec book that didn't really pan out because the movie was dog shit. We have got Thor, God of Thunder, number 6 in a 9.6. This is another minor key, appearance of God, Butcher, Gore. Such a shame that film was dog shit, and Christian Bale was amazing in it, but yeah, didn't pan out that one. Still a nice book to have. I do like the character of Gore. This one is, in my collection, I have bits of art I like, I have signatures I like, I have mega keys and all the rest of it. I also have random stuff, which is just books that I remember reading and I absolutely adored the characters. They've got no financial value or anything like that, but they're pretty cool to have. And this is Thunderstrike number 1 with a bit of foil on the cover there. I just loved Thunderstrike back in the day. This is a 9.8. It holds no value, and I really don't see Thunderstrike kind of making a big reoccurrence or anything like that. But for me, this is one of my favourite books to have because it reminds us of a happy time reading comic books. So that's Thunderstrike numero one. Numero one? Uno, what? I didn't French. Okay, let's go Marvel Mega Key, I guess you'd say. Again, a pens copy and a CGC grade 4.0, and we have got Fantastic Four 48. Bit of a stunner. This is the first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus in cameo at the back there. Of course, if you've got a 48, you need to go in with a 49 as well. This is a CGC 3.5. This is the first full appearance of Galactus. Stunning couple of books this. Again, I bought them because I love first appearances, but spec-wise, Fantastic Four, we know, coming to the MCU now, so potentially these will get a bit of a bump in the future. But lovely books, key Marvel books to have. Speaking of key Marvel books, let's go for a bit of spookiness. We have got Marvel Spotlight on Ghost Rider. This is issue number 5, and it is a 4.5, first appearance of the Ghost Rider. Well, is it though? There was an original Ghost Rider before this, wasn't there? There was the white guy, the kind of the white costume and the white horse and stuff like that. But this is the Ghost Rider most of us probably know and love, Johnny Blaze. And this is his first appearance. So yeah, a lovely one to have in a decent grade, 4.5, not to be sniffed at. Let's go for a UK first appearance now. We've got Marvel Team Up 65. This is the first appearance of Captain Britain in an American book. And this is at a CGC grade 9.0, which is a pretty good grade for this particular book. Love this character, hate that costume, but I love this character. And I do have the UK first appearance of him with the free mask, a couple of copies of that. But that's a nice CGC book to have. Next, we've got a bit of a steal. I got this up for a bargain price over on good old eBay. This is Wind #1 by James Tynion. Recommend you read this series, it's pretty cool. This is a 9.6 and it is signed as well by Tynion, I believe, is it? From memory? Yeah, by James Tynion. So yeah, nice little book to have. Going back, ladies and gents, to these comic books that I collect that probably have got no value to anybody other than myself. This is a fan favourite of mine. This is Quasar #1, Wendell Vaughn, CGC 9.6. Loved this character, basically a kind of a Marvel version of Green Lantern with the quantum bands. Really enjoyed him. Criminal that they don't do more with him, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, it's a nice one to have. We've got another sexy CGC art label on, for me, one of the best Spider-Man books of all time. This is Amazing Spider-Man. And this is the 9/11 copy, basically. So this is the black cover, which I absolutely love. J. Michael Straczynski story. Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's 477, isn't it? Yeah, 477. Just a beautiful story. If you've not read this one, it's well worth picking up. And I love that striking black cover. It symbolises a lot. So yeah, nice one to have there. Let's go for another key, and it doesn't get much bigger than this if you're an Avengers fan. This is a UK 9D copy. This is Avengers #4. First Silver Age appearance of Captain America, Steve Rogers, where he gets thawed out like a big ice cube. This is a CGC 3.0. Again, nice grade book to have in this collection. This is one of my personal favourites. I love this book. Let's jump around and go back to something that I just loved from my childhood. This is a DC Comics Batman The Motion Picture adaptation. This is a 9.8. I love that cover. I've got nothing in my collection signed by Michael Keaton, which is a friggin' disgrace. So I'd love to get one of these books signed by good old Keats, because I'm his pal, because I think it's an amazing film and I think he's an amazing actor. But yeah, nice book to have just for my private collection. This one, again, bit of spec. This is Avengers No Surrender 684 in a 9.8. This is the first appearance of the Immortal Hulk. Loved the Immortal Hulk series, but it kind of went down the shitter, didn't it, after the Immortal Hulk? So a great run on the book, and I liked having his first appearance. Not the first appearance of the Hulk, I wish I had that one, but no, first appearance of Immortal Hulk. Next, I'm a big, packet on this one's knackered. Big fan of good old Captain Carter, so this is Exiles number 3. This is the game edition, quite hard to get a hold of. 9.4, not the best grade on that one. I would have liked higher. I was a bit disappointed when I got that one, but still a striking cover. And if you're a Captain Carter fan, this is a nice one to have. This is her. She doesn't officially join the Marvel universe in this book. It's kind of her first appearance in the Exiles as an alternate version of Captain America. So yeah, nice book. Conscious I'm saying nice book after a lot of books. Of course, they're nice books. I bought the bloody things. I wouldn't buy shite, would I? Next, we've got X-Men number 9 in a 2.5. Significance of this book: this is the first team up, strike, fight, whatever you want to call it, with the Avengers and the X-Men. We're getting X-Men into the MCU at some point. It's inevitable, isn't it? As Thanos said, that we're going to get an X-Men versus Avengers at some point, I think. I just love this cover. This is one of my favourite covers, so I knew I had to pick this one up. And again, 2.5 is a good grade for a book of this age. 1965, that book. So, you know, I think you're winning if you get a book in decent grade from that back then. We're talking X-Men, so let's bring out a big gun. This is a stunning copy of X-Men number 1 from 1963. This is a pence copy and it is a CGC grade 2.0. This is probably the most pricey book I've got in my collection, but I just adore it. I'd absolutely adore it. This one means an awful lot to us. And if you're a comic fan or a mutant fan, you'll know that this is a big key book to have. So that's X-Men number 1 from 1963 at a 2.0. Okay, so I mentioned the Young Avengers before. How about Young Avengers number 1? This is a 9.8. This has got a ton of first appearances in it. If you are in the spec game, this is a book to pick up now. You can get it for pretty darn cheap, and it's a pretty big key, I think, that's going under the radar a bit. So please do, if you're into the spec kind of game, check this out. If you're not interested in spec and you just like a good book with lots of first apps, this is for you. This is a cool book. Speaking of first appearances, we've got this little beauty. This is Bloodstone. Marvel presents number 1. First appearance of Ulysses Bloodstone. This is from 1975 and it's a CGC 9.6. I'm a fan of the character. Well, I'm not so much a fan of this version of Ulysses Bloodstone, but I am very much a fan of his daughter, who appeared in the Werewolf by Night TV show. So picked this one up a little while ago, got it for very cheap. This is a book you can get for a decent price, particularly at a 9.6. Seems a good grade for that. Next, we've got another book that I'm specking on slightly because I think this has got a lot of first appearances and also could be coming to the MCU. This is War of Realms New Agents of Atlas number 1. This is again at a CGC 9.8, and I'm sure from memory it's got a lot of first apps. It doesn't say so on the cover, don't know why. Let us know why I bought that. Has that got first appearances in it? I thought it had first appearances in, but they would normally list that on the cover. Let us know in the comments why have I bought that. Different now. Okay, let's go to another big boy book, and we'll go no bigger than a giant-sized beast of a book. This is giant-sized X-Men number 1. You all know this book. It has got a shit ton of first apps. We've got Colossus, Storm, Nightcrawler, Thunderbird. Who else? Not Wolverine, it's his second appearance. A whole host of great X characters. This is a 5.5, which I think is a very reasonable grade for this particular key book. Again, a book you can get, to be honest, considering all the mega keys first appearances in there, you can still get this one for a decent price. So yeah, worth checking out Giant Size X-Men number 1 and getting yourself a copy of that if you can. Let's stick mutants. We have got the first appearance of Wolverine. Didn't care what you say, that last page is definitely his first appearance. He's got dialogue, it's a huge splash page, so yeah, it's a first appearance as far as I'm concerned. This is obviously the Incredible Hulk. This is a 7.0, and this is Hulk 180. So yeah, the more famous of the two is obviously Hulk 181, which most people say is the key first appearance of the Wolverine. But this to me is just as good. I love this book, it's a nice one, it's a nice one. Let's go signed books. We have got a X-Men 134 9.0 signed by Ethan Van Sciver. Didn't bother in the comments. I know I cannot do accents, so don't be giving us grief, right? Ethan Van Sciver. There we go. This is a nice X-Men key. This is the first appearance of Kid Omega, I believe. Yeah, first appearance, Quentin Quire, later becomes Kid Omega. So yeah, nice little book. Kid Omega, character who I quite enjoy reading in the X-Men run. Bit of a modern key, let's go here. This is Something is Killing the Children, #1. This is a 9.6, and this is a retailer exclusive cover by, I believe, Jenny Frison. Is this the Jenny Frison one? Again, a nice book. I did have a lot of copies of Something is Killing the Children #1, the standard version, but I think I've sold them. I'm looking at my stacks here thinking, I bet I haven't got an issue 1 of that, but we'll have a look. So we've got that one, and this is a nice looking cover. Oh, it's signed as well. Forgot about that. So yeah, this is, it is a Jenny Frison cover, and it is signed by James Tynion. They keep saying that that's going to be a TV series, but it's never transpired yet, has it? Let's go another Mega Marvel key, a recent key. We've got Edge of Spider-Verse #2. This is a lower grade than I would like. This is a 9.2. This is from 2014, and it is the first formal appearance of Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, whatever she's called these days. Gwen Stacy, basically, as Spider-Girl. Yeah. You got to look out for this, guys. There is a print error version, which has got a blacker kind of skyline, I believe. But I don't think it's recognised on the label. So this is a 9.0, bit of a low grade. I am on the lookout for a higher grade on that particular book. Okay, let's go big boy keys again with another sexy, sexy custom label. And this is Daredevil #1. This is the first appearance of Matt Murdock and Daredevil. Story by Stan the Man and art by Bill Everett with a Jack Kirby and Bill Everett cover. This is a stunning, stunning book at a 3.5 grade. And it's a book you can get at a reasonable price still. And again, custom label, which I had to have on this particular book. So yeah, first appearance, good old DD. Like that one a lot. Let's go for another signed book. This time we have got another signed book by that Will Mushroom bloke. First appearance of Bishop, Randall and Malcolm, and the first cover appearance of Bishop. This is a lovely copy of X-Men. So again, nice book, nice one to have. Couple of good signatures on there. So yeah, pleased with that one. A personal favourite, slightly disappointed I didn't get a 9.8 on this one, but this is Chew by Image Comics issue #1. I absolutely love this series. It's so much fun. It's a great read and it entertains, and it's got a proper start finish in middle section to it, you know, so it's well worth a read. I knew I had to have this one. This is quite a hard book to get because I think it was a low print run. I would have loved a 9.8, but came back 9.6. I'm not going to cry about it. I might actually. I spoke earlier about Bloodstone, Ulysses Bloodstone. Let's have a little look-see at his daughter. This is Erica. Sorry, not Erica. This is Elsa Bloodstone. Her first appearance in Bloodstone issue #1 from 2001. 9.4. Again, I'd like a higher grade, but I'll take it. This is a nice first appearance. I love this character. So yeah, good one to have in your collection. Now, a cheap book you can get, and I think, again, has legs. I think this is a bit of a spec book. This is Incredible Hulk 449. This is a CGC grade 9.2. What's the relevance of this book? Well, it's the first appearance of the Thunderbolts. We know the Thunderbolts have got their own movie coming out. It's not going to be this version of Thunderbolts, let's be honest. It's going to be a whole different MCU version. But still, I think this is a nice book to have and potentially has a little bit of spec value. I've got a 9.2 there, and we have also got a 9.6, ladies and gents, of the same book. But yeah, nice book. I like that one, and I love the Thunderbolts comic. I love the twist in the first issue. Again, a little bit of a first appearance key, modern key. This is Amazing Fantasy 15 and a 9.6. This is the first appearance of Amadeus Cho, I want to say, who becomes the something Hulk. Can't remember what his kind of his thing. Is it the Incredible? Not the Incredible, the Amazing. I don't know. He becomes something. The something Hulk. Anyway, there you go. First appearance of that bugger. Next, we'll go for a bit of Thor sexiness. One of my favourite characters of all time is Beta Ray Bill. We've got an amazing copy of Thor 337 there, 9.4. First appearance of Beta Ray Thor. Again, lovely character. I wish they'd do a bit more with him. His Daniel Warren Johnson series was very cool, but this is a stunning book. Again, I'd like that one in a higher grade. Some of these books I do want in a higher grade, but I will upgrade at some point when I've got cash. Next, we have got a bit of a random first appearance, really, I guess. This is Marvel Superheroes Volume 2, Issue number 8, in a CGC 9.6. Relevance of this book, first appearance of Squirrel Girl. Not a character I'm particularly familiar with, but I know she's a bit of a fan favourite, so pick this one up for that reason. Like I say, I'm a sucker for first appearances. This is a book that people got very excited about a little while ago. This is Canto number 1. This is the San Diego Comic Con, I believe, or the New York Comic Con exclusive cover by IDW. It's a 9.8 grade. I didn't particularly love the story, I have to say, but I picked up a couple of copies of this. I got a great deal on eBay. There's a video on my channel, check that out. And whilst I'm saying that, please do go like and subscribe if you've not done so already. So this is Canto number 1, 9.8. I don't know. We'll see if that one's got any legs. That one might increase in value. It's not a one I'll be holding on to, I don't think. I'm not a massive fan of it. Next, we've got We Live, number 1. I am a fan of this little series. The first series. It went a bit dog shit after that, didn't it? Series 1 was amazing. This is by Aftershock Comics. Came out in 2020, and it's a 9.8. So yeah, love that book. Brilliant story. If you've not read it, well worth picking up the Volume 1. It's a great book. Let's go Key, let's go DC books. You'll not see a lot of DC books in my collection, but this is a one that I think you've got to have if you're a comic fan. This is Batman Adventures number 12 in a 9.6, which is a very good grade to have, I believe, in this particular book. This is obviously the first appearance of Harley Quinn. So yeah, great book to have. Not technically canon, I don't believe, because it's not our introduction into the DC universe. It's our first comic book appearance, I guess you'd say. So yeah, lovely book to have. I keep saying that. But yeah, I like that one. I like that one a lot. Jumping back to random shit that I collect that most people would think, why the hell have you picked that up? This is Thor 459 in a 9.6. Relevance of this book. This is the book where Eric Matheson, who has been kind of standing in for Thor as Thor for a while, hands over the hammer back to Thor, but then is given the mace and becomes Thunderstrike. So he becomes Thunderstrike for the first time in this book. So if you're a Thor fan, particularly if you're a kind of a Eric Matheson fan, Thunderstrike fan like I am, this is a key book to have a hold on. Okay, we're talking Thor. Let's go mega key for Thor. It doesn't get much bigger than this bad boy. This is Journey into Mystery 83. This is a CGC 1.5. You'll notice the different coloured banner. That's because this is a conserved book. Didn't know that when I sent it in, ladies and gents. So that was a bit of a kick in the nuts when it came back. But basically what it says in this book is that it may have had staples replaced at some point. So it gets a conserved grading. This is my pride and joy. Absolutely love the character of Thor, as you probably guessed. So I love having this one in my collection. Am I happy with a conserved 1.5? It'll do. I want better. So I will be on the lookout for selling this one and trying to get a better grade book. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do I take a risk with all the changes at CGC? Do I take the risk with popping this and trying to get whatever restoration it's got fixed in some way to see if I can get a different grade or a different label? I don't know. Let us know. Would the grey banner bother you guys? Interested in your thoughts. We might as well stick with keys. We talked about Wolverine's unofficial first appearance, I guess you'd say. Let's go his real first appearance, according to all the geeks out there. This is Incredible Hulk 181, first formal appearance of the Wolverine. And this is in a CGC 3.5. I love it. I love this book. I love this book. It's an incredible book, an amazing character, a one that I'm over the moon to have in my collection. It's a beaut, an absolute beaut. So that is the first appearance of the Wolverine. A bit of an interesting one. The Wolverine book, 180, 181, there's always a lot of controversy over whether that's the first appearance, which one's a cameo, blah, 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 blah. Same with this book, really. This is the X-Men annual number 14. This is in a 9.6, which is pretty cool. This has got a cameo of Gambit in it. So there's a bit of debate as to whether this is the first appearance of Gambit or not. I don't know. I love the storyline for this. I love the artwork in it. So I picked it up anyway. Let us know again in the comments. Do you think this is the first appearance? I mean, on the CGC label, it's cameo but then it says, so Gambit cameo predates Uncanny X-Men 266, which is classed as Gambit's first appearance. So it's telling me that this book came out, he's got lines in it, you see him in detail. The first appearance, isn't it? Anyway. Oh, dog shit. Listen, isn't it? Dog shit. This is Amazing Fantasy number 1. This is the first appearance, I'll get a name wrong, Okanya, one of the Spider-Girl characters, CGC 9.4. I got this when people were getting very excited because there was a Spider-Woman movie coming out, Madam Web, so I tried to pick up a few copies of these. Movie's dog shit, innit? Yeah, I don't know what's happened with character, I don't know if she's gone down the pan or what, but yeah, not a book that I'm particularly excited about. Next, what have we got? This is a sexy book. This is a book that's in rough shape. I'll zoom in on this one, guys. You can see that this is a pretty awful copy of Avengers number 1. It's a CGC 1.0, so you know it's rough. But it's sexy because it's got Stan Lee's signature on there. So this is a signed copy of the first Avengers issue, signed by Stan the Man. Love having this in my collection. It's a rough book. It is a rough book, there's no denying that. But the fact that it's got Stan's signature on makes it all the better. So I love having that one. Okay, so next we've got this X-Men 25 signed by Andy Kubert. I love these covers. I love these hologram covers. I'm going to try and pick up all the rest of the ones that go with this set. But this is a pretty nice copy. This is a 9.0 CGC graded book. I love the hologram and I love Andy's signature on there. So yeah, nice book to have in your collection. This is another Young Avengers book. This is Young Avengers number 12. First appearance of Tommy Shepard as Speed and Kate Bishop as Hawkeye. This is signed by Jim Chung. I forgot that right. But again, another nice Young Avengers copy to have. Again, as I've said, worth picking up those books if you can get a hold of them. This is a bit of a classic for me. This is DC versus Marvel, issue number 1 with an absolutely amazing cover. I love that cover. And it's a 9.0 again. This one, once again, is signed. It's a signed book and it is signed by Joe Rubinstein. So classic creator there. So love that cover. It's just amazing, amazing artwork. Love it. Speaking of amazing artwork, we have got a stunning, bit of a crappy grade, but we've got a stunning Masters of the Universe number 1 wraparound cover. This is at an 8.5, which I think is a shocking grade for this book, to be honest, because it looks beautiful. But it's got a beautiful, like I say, wraparound cover, as you can see, of the Masters. And again, it is a signed book. This one's signed by Val Staples, who's the writer, and the incredible J. Scott Campbell. So yeah, I think I've only got one J. Scott Campbell signature in my collection, so very pleased to have this one. It's a nice, nice book. I like that one a lot. Love the cover. Wish you got a better grade. Oh, I love this one. This is incredibly sexy. This is Transformers number 1. This is the IDW Transformers number 1. Not the recent Daniel Warren Johnson one. This is a 9.8. It's got an amazing cover, as you can see, and this one I have had signed again by the voice of Prime, Peter Cullen himself. I love these. I love these covers. I think that is an amazing image of Prime, and to have Peter Cullen sign it, dream come true. Love that one. Love that one. Okay, let's jump over this side. Again, another first appearance. We've got Ghost Rider number 2, first full appearance of Damien Hellstrom. A character I don't know a great deal about, but he's a Marvel monster type character, so I do collect those. This is a CGC 9.0. Next, we have got, hate this costume. We have got Marvel Spotlight 32 at a 7.5. First appearance of Jessica Drew, the Spider-Woman. I love a later costume. I'm just not a big fan of that kind of cap she's got on. I like it when you can see her hair flowing. That was just twisting my hair. So this is the origin, first appearance of Spider-Woman Jessica Drew. Go get it. Cool book. A big boy book. We have got Amazing Spider-Man 300. Yeah, I know this book. You know whose first appearance this is. It's obviously good old Venom. This is in a 9.2, which is a respectable grade for this book considering the colour of the cover. It's a hard one to get in a high grade. Next, we have got a beautiful signed copy of Nova issue number 1. This is a CGC 9.2, a character I think, again, is grossly undervalued. I think he's an amazing character. I'd love to see him in the MCU. This copy is signed by Stan the Man Lee. So yeah, another signed Stan book. I've got a few of the buggers. We've got another copy of this. I'm not going to go into detail on this one. It's another one of those bloody Bishop books. I don't know why I've got so many of them. This one's signed by John Bryan. So that's a nice one. That's a nice John Bryan signature. I think that's the only John Bryan. Is it Bryan or Byrne? How do you pronounce it? John Byrne? John Bryan? John Byrne? Tell us in the comments. So yeah, nice signed book by John. Let's go some original artwork. This is a Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme. It's a CGC 8.0, but it is signed and sketched by my good pal Aaron Bartlett. Look at that. That is stunning. You'll see I've got a couple of signed comics sketch covers by Aaron as we go through the rest of this collection. But I love this. I think this is one of my favourites. I love the colours he's used for Doctor Strange. Does the grade bother us? A little bit, but actually the book itself more than makes up for it because the cover is stunning. Focus on the cover, not the grade. So yeah, that's a stunner. Speaking of Aaron, we'll show you this one. This is a Thor 1.0 issue, and it is a 9.0 grade with a rather cool image of the man himself on the cover, the mighty Thor. This is a hard book to get a hold of because it's a blue, kind of a pale blue blank variant, which is pretty interesting. I've not seen those ones before. So yeah, 9.0 Thor number 1 with artwork by Aaron. Let's go signed. We've got first appearance of the Red Hulk signed by Ed Guinness. So this is a, CBCS, is it 9.8? I can't remember. Yeah, signed by Ed McGuinness, 9.8 variant cover, first appearance of the Red Hulk. Going to be in Thunderbolts, do I think? Or Captain America? Played by good old Han Solo. Be interesting if he is. Interesting he is. We've got a nice Marvel banner there on the top there. A nice custom label. Wolverine issue 1, his first limited series. And this is graded a 9.2. We've got another Canto. I'm not going to go into detail with that one. That's a Canto number 1, 9.8. So that's 2 copies of that I think I've showed you. And we've got another copy of Young Avengers, 9.6 this time. So again, not going to go into detail. I've already showed you that one. This is a Sexy Peach Momoko. Don't normally like her work, but I really do like her variant cover for Strange Academy number 1. And this is in a 9.8. I think this is some of her better work. Don't shoot us. I'm not a massive fan of Peach's artwork in general, but I think this one's pretty darn good. I like it. I like it a lot. This is dog shit. I don't know where. What the fuck? This is Cheap Trick Busted 8.0. I won this. I bought a mystery box from some guys at a convention, and it was guaranteed CGC. It didn't say guaranteed piece of shit encased in plastic, but I don't know. I got it. So cack. I'll give that away at some point to some poor bugger who'll win that and think, oh, thanks very much. It's shit. We got this. This I bought from, I think, Whatnot, from one of my pals. This is Flash 167, Origin of Flash Retold. I'm a bit of a Flash fan. I don't have a lot of DC books in my collection, but I have to have this one because this was going at a great price. And I am, if I was to collect DC books, it would be Flash books. That said, I have got this. This is sexy. This is first appearance of Batman Beyond. This is a 9.6, which again is a healthy grade to have. Did a video on this one because this is actually a book that I bought, slabbed, sold, then bought back. All the same book. Anyway, so this is a nice one to have. I'm a big fan of that particular character. So yeah, Batman Beyond, first appearance of Terry. I collect Hulk versus Thor battles, and I had to go for the first one. So this is Journey into Mystery 112, Hulk versus Thor in a 7.0. Classic cover, one I really love. Again, perhaps a book that doesn't come up that often, but one of my all-time favourites. And this is in a 9.8. This is Ice Cream Man, a more modern book, a horror anthology tale. I really enjoy this series, so I knew I had to try and get a decent graded first issue. So I picked this one up, sent this off to be graded, and was over the moon. It came back at a 9.8. I think I've got a 9.6 knocking around as well. Again, a story that I just absolutely love. This is Batman Judgment on Gotham. Batman and Judge Dredd crossover with some friggin' amazing artwork in there, Judge Death in particular. If you've not read this tale, please go check it out. This is a lovely book from 1991. Let's go signed books. And this has got a load of bloody signatures. This is Marvel Superheroes, The Secret Wars in a CBCS 9.0. This is a stunning cover, one of my all-time favourite covers, I have to say. I'm a huge fan of this series. It's not a great story, but the artwork and the battles in it, it just reminds me, encapsulates my childhood. So this is a 9.0 CBCS, but it is signed in some beautiful places down here on the side, so it hasn't screwed with the image, but it is signed, verified signatures by Jim Shooter, Michael Zeck, and John Beatty. So the trinity of that particular book. So very, very pleased to have that one. Speaking of signed books, we have got New Mutants, first appearance of Cable, New Mutants 87 I should say. This is in an 8.5, not the best grade for this particular book. First appearance of Cable, signed by Rob Liefeld. Speaking of Rob, we have now got first appearance of Deadpool, 9.0 CBCS again, and again signed by Rob Liefeld. So again, first appearance of Deadpool, quite nice book, I like that one. Would I like a higher grade? I had a higher grade and I kind of sold that one and kept the signed version. We've got a very sexy Tomb of Dracula #1, 7.5 CGC graded, first appearance of Dracula, one of my favourite horror characters. So very pleased to have this one in the collection. Very conscious, guys, we've been going on for a long time now, so thank you so much for sticking with us and watching. We've got maybe 20 more books to go through. Just take a moment just to get a quick drink and perhaps hit that like and subscribe button. Cheers. Okay, these are some interesting books. Don't know what my voice did there. These are pretty darn cool. I've got a couple of these. So these are Masters of the Universe promotional supplements. These were inserted into comic books at the time. Kind of little ads really, I suppose, but they're little mini comics. And this is a 9.8. Picked these up from my good pal Andy over at Perpetual Comics. So this is a Masters of the Universe one. And we've also got a Mask one. So again, Mask promotional supplement from DC Comics at a 9.8. Really nice these. I've got a Sonic the Hedgehog one, but not graded. But yeah, I like them. They're interesting. Oh, speaking of Masters, we're getting into some of me childhood vintage stuff now. We've got Masters of the Universe Revelation issue #1 with an absolutely stunning wraparound cover by Alex Ross, who I think is potentially the best artist in the business. I just think he's amazing. So this is the beautiful wraparound cover. I love everything about that. And this copy is signed by the man himself, signed by Alex Ross. So love, love, love that book. Speaking of nostalgia, let's go a bit of G.I. Joe, the greatest heroes of them all. We've got G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, issue #1 from 1982. At a 9.0. Worth mentioning, for a lot of these vintage comic books, what I class as my cartoon collection, I've got the American version and then I've got the UK newspaper size print versions as well, which I'm going to get a few graded, I think, of those. So that's a nice one. Let's stick with the old school cartoons. We have got DC Comics Presents 87, first appearance of He-Man at an 8.5. Am I happy with that grade? Am I shite? I want higher. So I am on the lookout for a better grade. It's a hard book to get because of the yellow cover, but I am on the hunt. So I will be getting a better copy of that at some point. My favourite cartoon from that time period is, of course, the Thundercats. And this is a sexy book at a 9.0. Just love that, love that. Really interesting cover, that. It's Star Comics, which is interesting, which is Marvel Comics, really. Let's round that up with a final beaut of a book. We have got the Transformers issue #1 from 1984 at a 9.0. Once again, signed by Peter Cullen. So I've got a number of Peter Cullen signatures in my collection now. I love that. Look at that, man. mint. If we're sticking with my childhood, then it doesn't get much bigger than this. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hero Turtles, if you're from the UK. This is issue number 25 at a 9.8. What's special about this book is it's signed and remarked by both creators. That's particularly interesting because Kevin does a lot of sketches, a lot of remarks, and you get his drawings on a lot of stuff. Whereas Peter doesn't do a great deal. So it's nice to have both creators, both signatures, and both drawings on one book. So that's a particularly good one to have. Okay, next is the only PGX book in my collection. I know very little about PGX, but I'm probably going to get rid of this and get it upgraded. This is a Silver Surfer issue number 4, one of my all-time favourite covers. This is graded at a 4.0. PGX, I've got no knowledge of their grading system, so I don't really know if that's an equivalent to a CGC or not, but I love that cover. It's a square bound book, hard to get in high grade, one of my all-time favourite covers. So yeah, I will be upgrading this one at some point. Next, we have got another kind of first appearance of He-Man. We've got a Marvel Age, issue 38, 9.2 grade. Got this because it was kind of the start of the He-Man comic book craze. So it's got a lovely He-Man cover there. Look at the size of these muscles. Yeah, just a nice book to have if you're a He-Man fan, which I am. Oh, I did mention this earlier. We have got another copy of Ice Cream Man number 1. This one in a 9.6. I'm not going to tell you about that one because I've already prattled on about it. Next, we've got a Masters of the Universe number 18 with an absolutely stunning, phenomenal cover showing good old She-Ra. This is the technically first comic book appearance of She-Ra. Got this in a 9.6, over the moon with that. It's a beaut. So yeah, love that one. And I love having the first appearance of She-Ra in my collection. Next, we've got another CBCS double signed book. This is Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16. This is signed by John Romita Jr. and John Romita Sr. And it's the first appearance of, it's called Photon on this one. First appearance and origin of Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel. Verified signature, John Romita Jr. and John Romita Sr. So that's a really nice book to have. And I like that cover. It's a bit of a classic cover. Okay, I'm going to struggle with the artist's name on this one, ladies and gents. This is Venom issue number 1, variant edition. This is signed and sketched by Alvaro Buono. But you got this, I did this at Thor Bubble, he did this for us at Thor Bubble, I should say, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. I love this cover artwork. The image of Venom is exactly what I'd hoped for. So I love this book. It's a bloody beauty. Next, we've got another key first app of She-Hulk, 9.6 on this one. First appearance of Jennifer and the She-Hulk. That's a nice book. I like that one. We've got a bit of a sleeper key. I think this one will go far. This is Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel number 1 in a CGC 9.6. Hard book to get a hold of, particularly in a high grade. It had a low print run, but this is a character who I think might surprise you all and do big things in the future. So that's a nice book to have, a great, interesting story as well. Next, we have got another stunning Aaron Bartland cover. He did this beaut for us as a 9.8 CGC Ghost Rider number 1, fully painted image of the Ghost Rider. This for me, I think is my favourite sketch in my entire collection. It is stonking. It is an absolute beaut. Yeah, it's just amazing work. Let us know what you think of that in the comments. Next, we've got a little Marvel first appearance. We've got an X-Men key, X-Men 58 from 1969. This is the first appearance of one of the Summers brothers, Havoc. So, not Scott Summers, Alex Summers. So again, lovely cover, love the oranges on it. Just a nice book, Oh, I love it, We have got, I wanted this for ages. This is a copy of Gold Key Star Trek number 1 from 1967, and it is signed by the one, the only William Shatner. Over the moon to have this in my collection. This is a personal favourite. Wanted something signed by the Shat for a long time. Love to meet the guy. But yeah, just had to have a copy of that in my collection. I want a Patrick Stewart signed book next. That's next on the list, I think. Next, we've got a Star Wars, first comic book version of Star Wars. This is at a CGC 7.5. Just had to have that franchise represented in the old collection. And we are going to end. We're going to end on a bit of an interesting book. This is Silver Surfer, number 16, at a CGC grade 8.0, so a good grade book for an older book like this. And this is a Stan Lee file copy, and it's also signed by Stan Lee. So this is from Stan Lee's private personal collection that he used as reference material, and it's signed by Stan Lee. It's a Stan Lee file copy Mephisto appearance, and as you can see, he's signed on the board. Absolutely love that one. That's a bit of a unique piece, only one of those in the world in terms of that particular issue with that signature and all the rest of it. So yeah, very pleased and lucky to have that one in my collection. Okie dokie, ladies and gents, that's been a bit of a marathon video. Thank you if you stuck with us all the way through. Please do hit that like and subscribe. Please also go check out my room tour video where you see a bit more of this stuff in the wild, as it were, and then keep an eye out for future videos where I'm going to be looking at all of my collection items, such as all of my 1/6 scale figures or all of my signed books and things like that. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments what you thought, and that's your whack. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you next time. Take care.